Hello, everyone, and happy holiday. Welcome to Scarred Sins of Shelzar, Season 2, Episode 16 of Dead Man's Rust. When last we gathered, our adventurers were making their way through the Hornsaw Forest almost to the Glivid Hotel entrance when they met the Sundered Woman, who offered the opportunity to get you across, but you would need to to teleport to her tree, you would need to get the only person she knew of that was capable of the ritual, which was the head of the Hornsaw Sentinels, who you have made effectively mortal enemies with at this point. Deciding not to do that, you figured you would press on with the aid of the elves, the unicorn elf ghosts, as you expected to, but you discovered... sorry, Sarah, you're not muted.
Sorry.
You're all good. You decided to use the unicorn horn. I'm not sure exactly what compelled Alan to drag it out, but it started to glow and called out to an entity, a force, a wood-rat dragon who attacked. While you were being attacked by this wood-rat dragon, Alan was possessed, and her consciousness was contacted by the clan unicorn ghosts, who apologized for their deception and explained that they couldn't really help you beyond what they were doing right now until you brought all three of the components to the Ghost Glade. Does that sound about right to everyone as to where we parked? All right. You've technically not had a chance to rest yet. We're technically right after the dragon fight. So, what would you all like to do?
I think it automatically rests you when you level.
Probably, yes.
Okay.
No, because I still have some health that's down. I have 23 health out of 51.
No, I mean, you can go ahead and apply a long rest. That's fine.
Aside from spell slots, I think that would be the only thing that might get weird. But I don't think we were damaged or anything, so.
No, I don't have any spells taken, though, and I don't know what I had. So
it's all good. So what would you like to do now that you have defeated this dragon and you got a hold of its heart? So you have the heart, you have the unicorn horn.
And the last thing was the Sluretian spear?
Yes, the Spear of Slayer, which I believe you were told was near Dar Elanat, which is pretty much on the other side of the Hornsaw Forest.
This place has been hell to us. It's a couple of weeks' journey away across the most hellish terrain we've ever traveled as a group. And we're so close to our destination. But if we think we need to follow through for this, I guess what I'm trying to decide is our chance of success better if we go get the spear and have these spirits help us? Or are we better off just trying to get in there on our own and do what we need to do otherwise? Fulfill these other obligations on the way out. I'm not sure I know the answer. I don't think I'm smart enough to calculate it either.
What are we thinking as far as infiltrating this place to begin with? supposed to be the most heavily guarded place in anywhere.
But like I said, I don't think that they would be expecting us to show up right in the middle of it. Like, it should be guarded on the outside and not on the inside. But I don't know this for sure. It's just a hunch.
To further kind of top off the questions that I have are, they already have kind of been duplicitous once. Do we know the intents of these spirits that have sent us to collect these things? And I look over at the Rack Dragon remains. Are they seeking revenge? Are they seeking release? What do we know about them?
I don't know the answer to any of that.
Did you say something, Mike? I thought I heard you, but it was very muty.
Yeah, I don't think that Bark would lead all astray with these people if he didn't think that they had our best intentions.
So what exactly are we deciding on right now?
I think the best way to enter this fortress.
I mean, we're days from Glivet Hotel, but the way that we thought we had to get in is now telling us that we need to return to the other side of this forest to get the last component they need to be able to help us.
That's right.
So the question is do we continue along and look for our own help once we're there, or do we divert and...
I mean, one of my tasks is to free a trapped Hamadryad and help out the Sunder Dryad who's got the tree and Lucian Dane. I think
For clarification, those are the same task.
I kind of suspected, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yep, those are the same task.
All right. So anyway, before taking on a necromancer, I think it would be good to not turn down assistance.
One of my tasks is also in his fortress too.
I'm sorry?
2 for 1.
What was that?
One of my tasks is also in his fortress, so could be a 2 for 1. You know, getting that tree and also the piece of paper that I need.
So cross the forest back the other way to go get the promise of help?
I think so. It's either that or fight/sneak our way in. Just the 5 of us.
And just a reminder, to the best of your knowledge, there are 2 ways into Glivet Hotel. Well, there's 3 ways into Glivet Hotel. One would be to go in through the catacombs, which are filled to the brim with undead. The clan unicorn ghosts can theoretically repel them and clear a path for you. And they also were the ones, or among the ones who rescued the dwarves, so they know the way through those catacombs. There are no existing maps that you're aware of the catacombs. So if you go in there without a guide, it's not impossible that you would wander throughout the inside of the Mesa Caridae for weeks, months on end, running into undead constantly. You know that there's a lift that is operated, but that's guarded by Glividatel personnel. So you'd need a plausible story to get by that. Otherwise, if you can get to it from the top. So if you could climb the Mesa Caridae, which is about a mile high, or fly up there or teleport up there or something like that, those would be your ways there. As far as you know.
Wait 1 second. Be right back.
Sure.
All right, I'm sorry. I did not have my notes open. Could I get that again, please?
No problem. There's the lift that's operated by Glividatel personnel. There's the tunnels that are full of undead and not mapped. Only the clan unicorn ghosts, as far as you know their way through them. Possibly the dwarves, but chances are good you won't be able to get a dwarf to go in there. And then there's climbing the mesa or teleporting up or flying over, things like that. But it is a mile from the ground to the top of the mesa.
All right, so I can use teleport with my necklace, but I also strongly suspect that this city has like wards that would let them know when like some random group of people teleports into the city.
You would also need to manufacture conditions that would allow you to teleport into the city.
Yeah.
You want to talk about where snow is at?
You have to make it cold enough. Which is not entirely impossible, I don't think, because you can...
Literally have a spell called Ice Storm.
Yeah, climbing doesn't necessarily scare Ifrin, but I know some of the other party members might not be as good or as willing to take the hard straight way up.
Well, and it's...
That came out wrong, I'm sorry.
And it's not just climbing, it's a mile-long climb. It's not, it's not a small journey.
Yeah.
The alternative isn't much nicer. It's another couple of weeks traipsing through this shit.
All right. So the lift that's operated by the municipal workers, we can't just walk in and be like, "Hi, we're here to buy some bones."
You can try it.
I mean, my theory was that Haiku is shady enough that and knows enough of the right names that he might be able to sound official enough to need to go into the city for some official capacity. But
as I found out recently, Lucian, right? The sorcerer. That's the necromancer.
Yeah.
He's not a follower of Otasso. He's a lot of these necromancers worship Otasso, but it's not like throwing Otasso's name out there is going to get me entrance. It may lead suspicion off me from why I'm there, but it's not gonna grant me access inside,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like a free pass, but at the same point in time, it's plausible reason.
I guess it'd be like, I think we need to plan several exit strategies in case that does not work out. Because we need to first of all plan out like how we're gonna like convince them to let us in with a plausible reason, and then also if that does not work out, which is likely, how do we get out of there as fast as possible?
So, given our options, I think probably the safest on the balance is the clan unicorn option. My second choice would be, and this is also kind of dangerous, but we would split up. Haiku would try and talk his way in. I could try to shimmy just up the mesa. And like essentially just split up and try and meet up once we're all inside the city.
But then if someone gets caught up somewhere or gets stuck, or maybe like my deception fails, like we have no, I mean, we have a way of contacting each other. We all have like, what is it, like telepathically communicating, but getting to that person fast enough to cover their ass, probably unlikely. Now we're all just kind of like separated and alone to like against like potentially an army.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's not my favorite. What are other people thinking?
Let's go back through the forest then.
Yeah, I think that's the only option, really.
Xiaolong starts building an ice bridge back across the river.
I can actually help you now because I think I took some spell. I think I got like I got shape water also.
Nice.
All right. You turn around and start making your way back into the forest. You cross the Broadreach River again and start heading back deeper. As you're moving along, you find your first night. You have no problem finding a safe place to camp. Are you doing, I assume, the normal, like, tiny hut, hide it under brush kind of thing?
Yeah, I would assume.
Worked for us on the way here.
All right. Why don't you go ahead, Ithrin, give me just a survival check, if you don't mind.
Oh, it was almost an 18, and then it just tipped over, and it was a 2, so that's a 9.
Excellent. You get about 2 days into the forest. You start looking around and things look a little odd to you, like a little different than what you were expecting them to be. You notice a strange glistening on some of the leaves up ahead as you're moving along. Why doesn't everyone present go ahead and give me a perception check?
Oh, now I get a good roll. 23.
That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
8.
Yeah, I got an 11.
Excellent. So the rest of you don't even really notice anything odd, but you do see Ithrin kind of stop. And Ithrin, as you're looking in closely, you can see that the glistening are these little like golden, looks almost like gold that's been worked into a leaf shape. And you can see there's little gold thread running between various trees kind of across the path that you were about to walk into, where this thread is strung at different lengths and different tensions throughout the area, covering probably about a 10 square foot region.
I will alert the group to stop and try and point out the gold threads and be like, I think the trees are trying to get at us.
You're trying to what?
Like they want us to walk through the gold wire and get sliced to ribbons.
One second.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor just because I don't trust this forest anymore.
All right. Anybody else casting anything?
My mage hand touch the wire, see what happens from a distance.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity roll with your proficiency bonus. What were you saying, Ethan?
I am also standing a safe distance away as Haiku does this.
Dexterity, what was that?
Same.
Just dexterity and proficiency. So anything that you're proficient with, it's dex.
Okay. Oh man, so that's gonna be 12.
Excellent. You hit the wire, and it starts to make this horrific discordant noise as the wire vibrates, and it starts vibrating all the other wires, and the leaves start jangling. And I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Look.
12.
Oh, good. 6.
I
Excellent.
also have a 12.
11.
Surprisingly, I got an 18 on a -1 wisdom save.
Nice.
All right. All of you except for Haiku are okay, but like severely annoyed. Haiku, you're stunned as the noise is just like completely overwhelming you.
That makes sense.
Are any of you going to try to do anything to stop the noise?
You don't happen to know silence, do you?
Can you freeze it? Because I can use the amulet to freezing sphere it.
You give it a shot.
Where
Yeah.
exactly is the sound coming out of?
It seems to be coming from the strings itself. You're a bard. I'll give this to you. It looks like somebody has literally turned this portion of the walkway into like a musical instrument. The wires are each vibrating and making a noise, and like the little leaves that are dangling off of it are creating like percussion and noises along, chimes and things like that. So theoretically, this could be used to play a song, but right now it's creating such discordant noise that it's stunning Haiku. You could try freezing it if you wanted to, I think.
Yeah. I will cast freezing spear with the amulet.
All right. The ball of ice appears in the middle of it. Several of them snap. Haiku, you snap out of it. And you all see a dwarven woman looks like she's probably in her, 40s or 50s. Pop up from behind a tree, and she has it looks like she's just wearing like leaves and twigs basically that have been woven together into a costume. And you can see all sorts of various different bones and just pieces of general forest detritus, some like a patch of moss in her hair. And she looks up from behind a log and says, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Making the noise stop.
It took us weeks to set up. None of you are elves. Oh, goodness gracious. And she gets up and starts like walking over. This is going such a mess. Terrible, terrible. Brigands like you, I hope the Hornsaw Sentinels find you.
It was hurting our friend. We had to make it stop.
That's because you're not worthy. That's why it is. Not worthy at all. Look at those horns. Elves don't have horns. No horns. Not worthy.
Are you hunting elves?
You're a half elf? Well, no wonder. That's even worse than not an elf.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go again.
Did you ask me a question there?
Could we help restring the thread?
Could you help restring? I'm the conductor here. It's me.
I will string it how you tell me to.
You can't just have strangers stringing things about willy-nilly and all sorts of nonsense. She walks over and starts collecting like the pieces off the ground. Pure nonsense. Oh, this one's cold. Well, it's cold.
Are you looking for elves?
You gotta capture one. We do. Yep. Gotta capture one. Get his name. Get his truth.
For what purpose?
Because these gods is what they is.
But are you gonna like murder them?
You can't murder it. Well, I suppose you could murder a god, but that's not the plan. The plan is that we'll join them, and then they will tell us what we should make the Hornsaw Forest into, and then we will decorate it in their honor. Fill it with beautiful music like this until your friends started just plucking at it.
I will like whisper to Ithrin, so we don't want them to meet the Hornsaw elves. Like, because if they were gonna murder them, that would have been a good idea. But if they're not,
Well, we could maybe. I don't want to just kill her.
gonna kill her. Ooh, I have an
No, I
idea.
don't want to.
Oh, you don't want to. But okay, that goes in line with my non-murdering her idea. I'm gonna go away discreetly and I'm gonna put my whatever thingy, my cloak of disguise, my head of disguise, and I'm gonna disguise myself into an elf.
Okay, you step behind a tree, throw on your head of disguise, and step back around looking like an elf.
Yeah.
She
I feel like
stops.
we could have just said sorry and left, but okay.
I think
She
she can
stops
help.
and falls to her knees and says, "Oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
You are correct.
I'm sorry. We had a very pleasing arrangement planned, and then these people made noise and ruined the whole thing, ruined it all."
Oh no, it's okay. I'm sure it was beautiful. Anyways, I was wondering if you could help me.
Well, of course.
We are looking for the spear. So it's on the other side of the forest, right? DM question.
Yes. Near Dar al-Anat, as far as you know.
So I would wonder if you could help us get close to not.
Darling, not.
Yeah, since
You're an elf. Can't you just teleport there?
not all elves can teleport. That is actually a very hurtful stereotype.
Oh, I'm deeply sorry. Let me make it up to you. I need to show you something, so I need you to come with me. And she puts her hand out. It's just covered in like mud and various other sticky things.
I take her hand.
Oh, you got big hands for an elf. Right this way. She just starts walking off into the forest with Alan. Are the rest of you going to follow along, or?
Yes.
Yes, this is absurd.
She does not seem to be paying any attention to any of you. She leads you for about 10 minutes to a clearing. You come to an area that looks like they have recently cleared it. Like you can see where branches have been broken down, and they created like a 30-foot wide clearing in the forest, stamped down everything. And there's like a palanquin sitting there. And you also see like a fire with a spit over it. And you see a creature on the spit. I'd like all of you, does anybody have a passive wisdom score of less than 10?
I have 12.
Okay.
Yeah, no, mine's a -1.
You're all relatively sure, with the exception of Charlung, that is a humanoid of some kind that's on that spit.
Well, we judge one's cultures.
And she walks you over to the palanquin and like yells at there's like 10 or 15 people gathered around, mostly Broadreach dwarves, but you see there's like a manticora there and a couple of humans. And she like yells at one of the other dwarves, like, on your knees. And the dwarf drops down in front of the palanquin to give you like a footstool to step up onto it. And she says, oh, take your seat there. Pulls off like a thing of moss and like slaps the chair a couple times. Sorry, it's a little dusty. Slaps it back on.
Very elegantly take this chair.
Hey, you sit down and you hear it like bow a little bit, like
Yeah, under the weight of
like this was clearly built for someone of a daintier proportion than a iron bread.
Jeez.
Now, as you can see, we've prepared this routine for you so that you will see the beauty of our skill and allow us to help you guide the reconstruction of the forest. All right, everyone. And she pulls like a branch out of her hair and like taps it a couple times on the arm of the palanquin and then starts just doing this with her arms. And horrific, tuneless, awful music starts coming out of everywhere. Some people are blowing into things that may or may not be making musical notes. It seems as though they found the people with the worst rhythm to bang on like upside down buckets. It's just noise.
Awesome. Thank you. Please stop.
Looking after
That was beautiful, but it's quite all right.
So you will let us in?
Let you in.
Oh, the spear first.
What?
Oh, the spear first. That will only please her first.
What is this spear he's talking about?
I explain. I don't remember exactly what it is, but
You mentioned it is a spear of Slayer that was driven through a tree.
Yes. Now I remember.
Just Slayer, you say? That's interesting. You would say that.
Really?
Quite, yes.
Why?
Well, because of this. And she pulls on a rope And as she pulls on a rope, a like wooden cage descends down from one of the trees. In that wooden cage, bound with his hands behind his back, you see Roan Smilingtail, the iron-bred priest that you traveled via airship to Leone with. And strapped to his back, you see what you're pretty sure is a spear that matches the description of the spear you were told you needed.
This is why, Sarah.
His mouth is like bound, like they've just got like a makeshift like muzzle on him.
Cool.
He looks pretty uncomfortable. But the rest of you notice him look at you like he recognizes you. Now, last time that you saw him, he had been left in Leone with Tan, and was helping Tan work on her possession problem.
Oh, okay. So he's the cool guy.
I believe you all got along well.
I was like, maybe you should just take the spear, and like, we don't know what he did. Like, leave him hanging. He's gagged. It's fine. So I looked to the others to see if they recognize him.
Yeah, you all absolutely do recognize him.
And I will tell the dwarven lady, oh, yes, that is the spear we were looking for. And also, why is that gentleman in a cage?
He was traipsing through the forest, stepped right into one of our arrangements, right into the middle of it. We brought him here to give him a chance to convert to the true faith, but he didn't seem very interested, so we were going to have him for dinner.
Oh.
Your Highness, isn't that your old trusted advisor?
At this point, I'm gonna send that guy in the cage ascending.
Okay.
And I'll say, if we have to kill every one of them to get you out of here, we will.
Sending allows a response, right?
Yep, up to 10 words.
He says, there shouldn't be a need to kill them, I wouldn't think.
They're gonna eat you, my dude.
But since Haiku was, Your Highness, isn't that your trusted advisor? I would be like, it most certainly is.
She said,
I am very distressed. I'm very distressed.
Your advisor's a Sutak.
He has other merits that you know nothing about. So do not question me, little dwarf. Is little condescending, the personal note, probably.
They like drop to their knees and they're like, I'm sorry, and run over and like cut the cage down, and everybody else starts like begging your forgiveness and dropping down to their hands and knees.
And let this be a lesson to all of you about tolerance.
He's on the ground, but the cage is still tied shut. There's no like locks or anything. It's just like tied with some sinew.
I cut him out.
Okay, good. I was going to say, I motion to someone who has a knife, because it'd be really weird for me to pull out a giant hammer right now.
You cut him out. He steps forward and like sticks his snout like at you.
Take it off.
Thank you. Well,
may I have that spear now, good sir?
He hops over toward you because his legs are still tied together and his hands are tied behind his back, and the spear's kind of tied through it.
I'll like slice. I'll take off all his bounds.
Oh, thank you. He picks it up and walks it over and hands it to you. And he says to you in Sutak as he hands it to you, How do you plan on us getting out of here?
On foot.
He turns around and looks at them and then turns back at you and kneels. Says, "Oh, thank you for letting me free, mistress."
You are welcome. Now, we have important, urgent matters to attend to. And I am sure that you will be so glad to help me find my way back to where I need to be.
The Rowan is like shaking his head. No, no, no.
Yes, I'm shaking my head. Yes.
She gets up. Oh, I'll guide you wherever you need it. Why do you need a guide?
What do you mean?
Hang on a second.
Who's
Do not
going to
question
share
her.
my wares?
She reaches down and starts digging through just like a pile of junk that's kind of in the middle of the camp and pulls out a gem.
No! Get your
I cast Filch. I cast Filch. I cast Filch.
All right, you're going to cast Felch. Excellent. So she needs to make a dex save, I believe, yes?
Yeah.
All right. 2 seconds.
And I am immediately after going to cast Gift of Gab.
Okay.
I am
And-
preparing to run into the trees and hide.
And I'm going to reshape their memories to be that he threw it out the door. Like he got
Nice.
rid of it himself and tossed it out the door.
Just a second. All right. So they get a dex save.
Hmm.
It's not a very good one, but they get one.
You know what? I don't think I can use Gift of Gab that way.
What does it say specifically? Let's do.
It says they forget everything I said.
Oh yeah, you can't. You'd have to use like a modify memory spell, I think.
Yeah,
you do-
the way it's written it earlier and it isn't that clear, but yeah.
You do absolutely filch the gem.
So you dare, and I cast Identify to figure out what this thing is first.
Actually, let me double check something about filch.
Filch.
You don't happen to have the spell description handy, do you?
Yeah. Choose one non-magical object you see within range.
You can't filch it.
Dang. Okay.
You try to filch it and it doesn't come across, which does tell you that it's magical.
I can I just like quickly take it out of his hand then?
You can try to grab it. But let's go ahead and do initiatives.
22.
All right, hold on 2 seconds. I just need to alter the battlefield to reflect what's going on here. Let's see. So when I have one token to represent that horde, they will all go on the same initiative. And we'll add everyone for the map. So, what did you get on yours, Haiku?
22.
All right. Charlie,
16.
Charlon. I'm sorry?
8.
8. Alland
16.
and Ithrin.
14.
Excellent. So Haiku, you do go first. You can try to grab it out of their hand. Go ahead and give me just a athletics roll to try to pull it.
Athletics. Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's a nat 1.
Excellent. You lunge forward, and she like leans back and sticks her foot out, and you trip, roll forward, and land like in the campfire. And you are fire resistant, correct?
Yeah.
You take 1 point of fire damage. That brings us to her. She is going to put the gem up to her eye and look at you and be like, "Traitor! Bring me the traitor's flesh!" No. And the rest of the cult all get to their feet and pull out their weapons. That brings us to Charlie. What would you like to do? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
I can just hit her with a cone, right?
A cone? No, it would spread out beyond her.
I can't like put her on the edge of it with the other side.
I mean, there's kind of like you can not hit any of your party with a cone.
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm gonna cast Violent Scream. Just at the base level.
Oh, Lord.
Don't say Lord. Don't say Lord to me. I don't know nothing about no Lord. Wait, it's a con save.
Yep.
14 is the...
Okay, she does make the con save. They make the con save.
It's only 3.
All right, so they all take 3 damage?
Yeah.
And that does what else to them?
Nothing. You said they made the save, right?
Yes.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Very quick, Travis. Are we on the correct map?
I mean, I didn't move you to a new map, so
Okay.
it's basically this similar.
Okay. I'm planning my tactics. Thank you.
Yeah, you're in a similar arrangement. Here, let me actually, you're all going to be in the same arrangement, but I'm just going to move you to a different chunk for surroundings wise. That's probably closer to the surroundings you're in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So they all take 3. They shout obscenities and anger at you. Any bonus actions or anything else, Charlie?
I'll give Bardic Inspiration to Alan, I guess.
Excellent. Alan, does your action? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna smash.
Okay. Are you aiming for the conductor, or are you going for anyone else?
I'm gonna melee.
Right, but I mean, are you attacking the conductor, I guess is the question, like the leader?
Yes.
Okay.
But I have a thing called, what is it? Sweeping attack. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. And you want to let me know how that works exactly?
Yeah, when you hit a melee weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die to deal damage to another creature within 5 feet of the original target and within your reach. If the attack would hit it, equal to the number you roll in your superiority die.
Excellent. Go ahead.
So let's see if I hit. Right?
Yep. First, you check to see if you hit.
14.
You swing and she like ducks underneath it.
I can do. Okay, then I'll do my other extra attack.
You had
Yep.
the Bardic Inspiration.
Oh
You
yeah.
can use
How
that
do
on
I
an
use
attack,
that?
right?
You roll a D10 now, is it? Or is it D8 still?
Charlie, I don't know.
It's still a D8. Sorry, I had to find it.
Oh, okay. So I'll roll a D8 for this. Because I know I'm close. She can't be more than like 16. 3.
That'll hit.
17. Ha ha ha. Thank you, Charlie. And then hit to damage. 13 damage.
All right.
And then I will do my superiority die.
Yep, and then you still get to take your second attack as well. So go ahead and roll your superiority die. The person next to her will take whatever you get.
Which will be D8. Eight.
All right. That knocks them unconscious.
Sweet. How you said there was like 15 or so people, right? So I'm gonna go for the next ones that are nearby. Can I do that? For my extra attack?
Oh, like step over and hit the next person? You can,
Yeah.
absolutely.
$13. Doesn't hit, right?
13 does not hit.
Cool.
All
I
right.
try.
You did knock a couple of them down and send the rest of them reeling. Ithrin, what would you like to do?
I would like to cast Eliester's Moonbeam.
Excellent.
So I'm casting it at a higher spell slot. So it's a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. And so it must make a Constitution saving throw, DC 15, and takes. How much radiant damage am I casting for this right now? 4d10 damage.
All right, drop those damage dice. They, in fact, failed their
Ooh,
save.
31.
All right. You drop the moonbeam on them, and it's a 5-foot circle, so the two minions that are next to them that were still up are now knocked unconscious.
Nice.
She lets out a scream and says, "Why have you forsaken me, Denev?" Charlong, it is your... Oh, yep.
Do they happen to be shapeshifters?
They're not shapeshifters.
Okay. That's all.
Charlong, it is your action. What would you like to do?
I'm a first look at our friend that we are rescuing and say that's why. In reference to the, I don't think we'll have to kill anybody. I feel like Haiku or Elland are like our most rapid attackers, so I'm gonna run over to Haiku and twin a greater invisibility on the two of us, tap him on the shoulder and step aside.
All right. Excellent. That brings us to Rowan. And Rowan is going to he grabs he's holding the Slayer spear in one hand, and in his other hand, you see a spear made entirely out of light appear. And he just holds on to it for the moment. And that will bring us to Haiku. What would you like to do?
Okay, so since I'm invisible, I'm gonna go here or right here, yeah. And I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave. It's gonna be a con save for them.
Okay. They are not great at this save.
Okay.
That's a natural 1.
Sick.
So let's go ahead and just have you do max damage on that.
Oh, max? Okay, so that's 3d8s. 3 times
It's 24.
24, yeah. 24.
Oh.
Yep. They're pushed 10 feet away from me also. Yep. I'm gonna do
Alright.
that. And can I do anything else for... Can't do... yeah, it's gonna be it.
Excellent. She yells, "Run, my children, run!" And then holds up like this set of pipes that she's got, and blows into them.
Oh wait, hold up. Maybe I can do something for that. Yeah, hand cramp as a reaction.
Okay, she has to make a con save for hand cramp.
It's strength saving throw.
Okay.
On a failure, they drop whatever they're holding.
That's amazing. I love that. Is that a cantrip?
Yeah.
She drops
Yeah.
it.
I have it too.
She drops it and like drops to her knees and starts weeping. And she's like, "Why has the nun forsaken me?" That brings us to Charlie. The others are like all running, scattering into the woods.
Things change so fast. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level.
Okay, and so she has to make a wisdom save.
Yes, 14. Wow. That was almost as shitty as it possibly could have been.
Oh no.
I rolled 6 total on 4 d6s.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a 3 and 3 ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
That's okay though, because her save total is only a 5, so she still takes the 6 and she runs away, right?
Yes. She must immediately use reaction if available to move as far as speed allows away from me, not over dangerous ground. That's it, yeah.
She gets up and starts to back up. In doing so, that provokes an attack of opportunity from Ithrin.
Aw, that's sad for her.
I mean, if she's fleeing, I'm just gonna let her flee.
Okay. Yeah, she takes off and continues running, and she's like, "I'll be back for you."
Alan is disgusted.
You can shoot her.
I didn't want to kill anybody, and now that they're running away, we have.
She said she'll be back.
No survivors.
Then I'll kill her then. But we got what we wanted.
I missed. I rolled an 8.
All right, you shoot the tree next to her, and she like audibly urinates and continues running.
What does that mean? That is so gross.
Like you hear it. That's what that means. That means that you can hear it.
No, that's what you mean.
Can I pick up that whistle she dropped?
You absolutely can.
Oh yeah, I bet that does something.
I want to identify on that.
This is a magical flute that allows the caster to cast. If you play the flute, it releases the effects of Denev's Fury, and you can't use it again for 8 days.
Ooh, what does Denev's Fury do?
It's a true ritual. Choose a point you can see within range in a 600-foot radius from that point, starting roughly 30 minutes into the casting of this ritual. So it actually would start right away because it's a magic item. The area exhibits sign of an imminent natural disaster appropriate to the geographical location. A volcano could begin to smolder, ocean water might recede, or a great plain could become overcast with thunderclouds. The natural disaster, when you finish playing the flute, then occurs, affecting the area for the duration. It's a 600-foot radius, anywhere within a mile. I mean,
Would that be like a performance check that you would need to use that, or
no? You just blow in it. You just have to be attuned to the flute.
It's amazing.
Yep.
I'd like to.
You're gonna eat shit.
You
See,
can.
Andrew?
You can create devastating results roughly equivalent to those of an appropriate 7th or 8th level spell. If you find no spell that is equivalent, you can choose one of the following. Each creature in the area takes 8d6 damage of a type appropriate to the disaster. Each structure takes 8d6 damage of a type appropriate to the disaster. Or knocking people prone by quaking, blowing them back, knocking them down with gale force winds, scorching them with lava, things along those lines.
I'm going to hand this to Charlie.
Okay.
I'll explain what it does and stuff like that. I think you could use this more than anybody else can.
Can you, Travis, just tell me what to write down real quick, and then I'll get the details written down from you later?
Yeah, it's a flute that grants you Denev's Fury.
Okay. All right, I'll get the info from you officially later.
Excellent. Once the fighting stops and everyone's done running away and everything calms down, Rowan says, "I thought I might find you here," and hands you the spear.
You Holland.
Use a little more explanation.
Would you believe that I had a vision from my God?
Don't we all?
That was me.
past-
Yes.
With the past few weeks that we've had, most definitely.
I've been having nightmares for weeks. I think Nkili was trying to tell me something. I started following the trail of those dreams. They led me to the Gleaming Valley. When I saw what had happened there, they told me that you were supposedly on the case. And once I heard your name, I started having really intense nightmares about the forest drenched in blood and corpses everywhere. And it was really bad. But a group of the Howl Legionnaires returned back to the Gleaming Valley, and they had this spear with them. One of them also happens to be a devotee of Nkili. Said they felt compelled to pull it from the tree, whatever the hell that means.
Where's Tan? Where's Tan?
Tan is still in Leone. She's learning, but I didn't want to risk bringing her along on this journey. I hope you understand.
It's probably fair.
Her psyche is a little bit fragile at the moment, and I had a suspicion that following in Keely's guidance was going to lead to some mischief. I did not expect that mischief would be me tied up in a cage for 3 days, but mysterious ways and all that stuff.
What they say? That turns all in. Now what? We got everything, right?
Now we got everything.
Great. Where are you heading to from here?
Can we teleport into the...
A little bit outside.
Yeah.
Well, first you have to go back to the.
Yeah, we have to kill the necromancers still.
Right, and if you wanted to get the unicorns, you have to go back to the Ghost Glade to get them.
But yeah, that's the next step then. That's the path we're following.
Yeah, that's kind of an important step there.
You know,
As well-
save the world and shit.
I think I know a shortcut, or at least a group that can get you there quickly.
I bet you do. If it's what we're thinking of, I don't think that's going to work out too well for us.
What's that?
The elves of the forest, Hornsaw.
The Hornsaw elves?
The Sentinels.
I mean,
They're
the
not
Sentinels.
elves. They're not elves.
Yeah.
Oh, Sentinels, my bad, yeah.
Yeah, no, those guys are dicks. Actually, I ran across while I was on my way in here. I ran across the Lizard Clan, not too far from here. They're on their migration, but they offered to. Well, they gave me a guide. Maybe I shouldn't go back with you. He looks over at the spit.
At him.
Yeah, I don't suppose any of you has a diamond, do you?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
A diamond?
Crash out. I'm sorry. Yeah, because you need that to resurrect someone.
I was trying to see if that was part of my jeweler's kit or something.
I mean, I have 14 throwing knives, but
That's helpful.
I'm not a guy.
He says, can I have that? He points at the gem that she dropped.
You know, with the flute, or no, it's a gem, right? It's a different thing.
Yeah, the gem that she had.
Oh, okay.
It was a gem of seeing she held up to her eye.
Oh, I don't mind if he takes it.
And it could be useful later on, but fuck it.
He's trying to bring his friend back.
Oh, let's not toss the F word around. He was my guide. He holds the diamond in one hand and places his other hand on the guy's head, and then opens his eyes, turns to Charlotte and says, can you give me a hand? Like, you just hold and I'll pull. And he walks around, like, grabs the end of the spit.
This is so gross.
Like, we don't want to bring him back like this, right? Like, there's no way that ends well.
No.
All right. On 3. Go ahead and make an athletics roll for me, please, Charlotte.
It was only an 8. I got a 5 on the die, but
Right on. He
I
sort
do
of
have a
pulls
strength
you,
of 16, so
he sort of like pulls you forward like 3 or 4 times before you finally like get a good solid grip, and out comes the spit. He sits down and says, "Oh, great, wise, and powerful, and Keely, hamana hamana. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey." And he stands up and backs up. And the diamond turns to dust in his hand, and the dust flies up in the air and like lays across the body, and you see the flesh start to reform. And as you're watching this haiku, like you get like distinctly uncomfortable with it. Like it's like you can feel your blood starting to boil just watching this death reverse itself. Like it's almost like fundamentally offensive to your being.
Gross.
If I've never
Um,
gone that far, just spread me with the glaciers.
Listen, he's going to be all right.
I'm
gonna
just
take-
saying.
He starts like screaming. Quiet. Just breathe. It'll be fine. Chances are very good he will not remember most of this. It'll be all right. Yeah, so he can probably guide you. I'm going to get out of here before he gets up.
That's probably right.
All right. May Aunt Keely bless you all. Go do something silly. He walks off and just starts humming to himself as he goes off into the forest.
So did he just leave? So he brought the guy back and then just left him?
Yeah, he said he'll take you to the ghost glade. And like, and the guy's like still like, "Ah!" Like he's pulling like burnt, charred like skin off of his body, like revealing the good skin underneath it.
I'm gonna use a cure wounds to help like haste the process because
I have
Pranks,
a,
that's pretty good at easy one.
I have a Denev's fruit that was given to us like a few weeks ago in game that I'm probably like wondering what the expiration date on it is. So I'm like, here, give him this. It's just like a 5 hit point heal. Yeah.
You cast cure wounds on him and feed him a fruit, and after a few minutes he like sits up. He's still like just moist with like patches of skin still stuck to him a little bit, but for the most part okay now.
feel like Ithrin has a bottle of something fermented in her pack and she's offering him a drink.
Thanks, appreciate it. He takes a swig of it. Oh, that was gnarly. So, who are all of you?
I'm Ithrin.
Hi, Ithrin.
I sometimes work as a druid and sometimes serve the Snow Queen as a cleric. It kind of depends on the job that needs doing.
I have a complicated relationship with my parents too. So, what? I was guiding a one of you, but
Yeah, he gave us this. He went that way. He said you could help us find the ghost glade.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Let's go. He gets up and stumbles a couple times. Oh, wait, shit. It takes him a minute or two to find his feet. And he says, I take it you're in a hurry.
Yeah. Kind of on a deadline.
All right. He says, just stay close to me. Don't touch anything unless I tell you. Don't say anything unless I tell you. Hang tight. And he starts leading you on like this winding sort of path through the woods. Near as you can figure, he winds up shaving probably about 3 days off of your journey. What you would expect to have taken you about 5 days takes you about 2. And you have safe, easy places to camp for the night. Is there anything that you want to do during the downtime?
At one point, I feel like I'm gonna joke with Ithrin that is this what traveling with an actual druid would be? Because Because you're constantly saying that you're not very... Is this what good at it looks like?
Yes. Kind of.
Personally,
Mostly.
I feel like he'd get lost in the sewers, so...
I like the long way sometimes, you know? Sometimes it's better, the scenic route, you know? So that's one for you, you know?
I splash you in the face with blood rain. I mean, at this point, we're all probably wearing masks, unlike those days. But
I would assume. So you, after a couple days, you make it to the Ghost Glade. You're able to place the items at the base of the tree like you were instructed. Do you ask the guide to wait for you, or do you let him go after he gets you to the Ghost Glade?
Wait, I'm going to ask if there's anything else we can do to help him out.
He says, "No, Rowan paid for my time."
Oh, yeah, you did.
No, I mean, yeah, it was nice of him to bring me back from the dead, but he cured a bunch of. We had like 8 or 9 sick people in my traveling pack that were all very ill. We couldn't get anything to take. He came in and helped everybody. Real stand-up guy.
There's a really good chance you don't want to follow us on the rest of this journey, but you might want to point us in the right direction.
Don't gotta tell me twice. You trying to get to Glivet Hotel from here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's 3 ways to get there. There's an underground tunnel network you could try taking. There's a good chance it would be perfectly safe. But there's also a chance that you might run into, like, pancakes and whatnot down there. There's also the overland route that most people would take, and then there's the secret Lizard Clan trails, but I would have to go with you to show you those. I can't tell you how to get there. So it's up to y'all. What?
Do you happen to know anything about the politics there? Do they let in visitors?
They have politics?
I don't know.
No, as far as I know, they're just a bunch of creepy, half-dead people that animate corpses and dig around down here for spell components.
I mean,
We don't get along too much, you might say.
you're not wrong.
I know there were some of our tribe that have traded with them in the past, but that was in the past. That was relatively distant past. So yeah, my knowledge would be outdated, unfortunately. So I'm happy to cop a squat until after you're done doing whatever it is you got to do here, and then you can decide.
Okay.
He goes over and sits by a tree. He's just kind of keeping watch.
All right, Holland, what's the next move? What do you
Does
do?
something special happen when I put the items at the base of the tree?
You just take all 3 of them and set them there?
What?
You just take them and set them down there?
That's what I'm supposed to do, right?
As far as you know, yeah.
Yeah.
When you set them down, they sit there for a second, and then you see little vines start to grow up around them, and then start to pull them down into the earth. And as they do, you see 8 points of light form a circle around you, outside of where you're standing. And those points of light form up into fully formed elven shapes. They're definitely ghosts.
The same ones that I saw when I died.
Yep.
Cool. Everybody else can see them?
Yeah, you can all see them. They're clearly manifested. And they say, thank you. You have given us the tools that we need to break free of the spell placed upon us by the hags.
Oh, you're welcome.
In return, we will happily guide you through the tunnels as you requested. And again, our apologies for the misdirection, but we couldn't risk the chance of missing this opportunity.
Cool.
So nonchalant about it.
Very well. Then let us be off. One for each of you follows along, and the rest remain behind.
I'm sorry, what?
One ghost for each of you follows along, and the rest of them remain behind.
Oh, I thought you said there were 6 ghosts. Is there like more?
There were 8 this time.
Oh, okay.
Your lizard clan guide is just kind of sitting there on a stump. Says, that's weird. So, am I tagging along, or are you going to go with them?
Going with these guys.
One of them
Should
starts.
come with-
I'm sorry?
Should the lizard guy come with? We don't even know his name.
No.
No, he's just because you don't even know my name. I'm the fucking Lizard King. No.
Really?
One of the unicorn ghosts says, we can guide you safely through the wood, and he has a message to deliver to his people. And then she turns and says something in Elvish to him. And he says, be safe, good luck storming the unassailable lair of the undead, and takes off running into the woods.
You do.
As you make your way from the Ghost Glade toward Glividatel, your journey this time is very different. Everywhere you pass, while it's under the illumination from these ghosts, it appears as though, as it was before Mormo died, the pristine Broadreach forest. Once it gets outside of their bright light aura, so that each one of them is shedding bright light for about 15 feet and then dim light for about 15 feet. Once it gets past the bright light, it starts to look like the horn saw again. But that little pocket, while they're in it, looks pristine, and of course turns back to normal as you pass. They don't really initiate any interaction with you throughout the journey. And it takes,
5-star Uber right there.
yep. And it takes 4 days for them to get you from the Ghost Glade to the base of Glividatel.
They did it.
How many days do we have left?
Well, this last bit was 8 days, so now you're down to 22 before people start dropping over dead.
Okay.
They take you to the mouth of the cave, and the lead ghost turns and says, you will see things and hear things while you're in here. Under no circumstances should you step out of or reach beyond the aura of our light. Do you understand?
Yes.
What are we gonna see?
Damnation.
Okay.
They step inside. I assume you're all going to try to keep lockstep with them?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Once you get beyond where the sunlight falls into this cave mouth, it is complete pitch darkness outside of the bounds of their light. You can hear moaning, screaming, clawing, begging. You can hear the wet sound of blades through flesh in the distance. You hear animals gnawing on bone. You hear the dripping of blood. You can smell like rotten flesh on the air in here. And every once in a while, you see something vaguely humanoid burst into flames at the edge of the light, like it got too close and just blew up. About an hour into the journey, Holland, you start to hear a weeping sound.
I try to ignore it.
Excellent. It sounds young, and you can hear a bit of whinny in its voice.
No. No. There's nothing there.
Are you going to do anything besides just try to will yourself into believing that it's not there?
Nope.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Nope.
I assume only Alan can hear this.
Only Alan can hear this right now.
16.
You are able to resist the urge to run off after it, and you are able to press on without suffering any sort of ill effects or exhaustion.
Sweet. I resist.
Charlene, as you're walking along, you hear distressed shouting in the distance. He's pinned, I don't think he's breathing. If we just had another set of hands, we could get him clear.
No one else hears that, right? I'll just say that out loud.
Everyone's kind of hearing things, so
The guy's shouting
You
back
hear
there.
that too?
I'm talking about some guys shouting. Anyone else got guys shouting?
I've been hearing nothing but guys shouting since we got in here.
In Orcish?
This is just kind of how it used to sound in my head all the time before I got this ring.
No, I hear what I think is a foal, so no, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to just basically check my sanity with those around me.
all right, go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw with advantage, please.
14.
All right, you managed to avoid running off, and you take no exhaustion from doing so. You start to lose track of time. You're not sure if you've been walking through this area for days, hours. You know you've been moving upward. You can tell there's kind of a slope to the steps. And at some point, the ghosts stop. And they say, the door is ahead. We can open it for you, but our power does not extend inside the walls of Glivet Hotel.
We appreciate you taking us this far.
Indeed.
Should we wait?
Thank you.
They asked if, should they wait? So they asked.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably right.
are we even positive that we're getting out of this place? It's a Hail Mary either way, right?
Oh, weren't we gonna teleport out? Isn't that the plan with Ithrin? We're just
Right. There was an option.
I mean, but
It
there's
gets us
also
really
like
close to where we need to bring whatever cure we might find. But also, that's kind of a long shot, like parachute cord scenario anyway, right?
yeah, there's a lot of failure points with this plan.
Mhm.
And if only we had like someone who can cast like teleportation circle right here, so we can just like reset.
Well, next level.
Damn.
The
I'm just
It'd be like a save point, you know?
yeah. Like we need one of those typewriters from Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. Or
So-
bonfire from like, you know, like from software games.
I attempt to send a message using the sending tattoo that I inscribed on myself to this ghost. Can you
Okay.
hear this?
Yes.
Then yes, you should wait. If we will not be coming, I will let you know.
Very well.
And then I let everyone else know that we can send them a sending.
Okay. That sounds good.
The door near you at that point opens seemingly of its own accord. And you see a skeleton that looks like it's jammed together by just random bones that were picked up. So it's in a humanoid shape, but not necessarily an actual humanoid skeleton. Is like pulling the door open and then just crumbles to its component pieces. And you feel a slight itch at the edge of your mental protection. Haiku.
Yeah, why not? Let's see what they got to say.
I opened the door for you. You're welcome. So awesome. Enjoy your stay in Glivet Hotel.
Hopefully it's a brief one.
The light kind of stings your eyes as it pours in from this room, dim as it may be. The pathway that you've walked out seems to open into what looks like it is some sort of like a disused like storage area. There's a bunch of empty crates and barrels that look like they've long since been tapped out, sort of scattered about. There's a layer of dust. Wooden door at the other end of the room.
Just to be clear, we are in the city proper, or are we in Lucian's?
As far as you know, you're in somewhere in Glivet Hotel. You don't know if you're in Lucian's.
Indoor, outdoor? Like
It opened into an indoor room.
open indoor room. Okay. Do y'all want to be invisible for a sec? Can you like make some people invisible? I can make myself invisible.
Are any of you throwing on disguises? Yeah, anything you're doing right now to alter your appearance, now would be a good time to make notice of that.
I don't think I have any of that stuff.
The invisibility won't last for very long. I mean, greater invisibility has only got a 1 minute duration, so
Oh, is it? Let me see something.
without
Oh, it's mine.
permanent-
And what are you using your hat of disguise to look like, Alan?
The The people that are here are like elves, right? They're not
No, it's mostly humans.
humans, so try to look like a human.
All right, you make yourself look human.
I'm gonna ramp up my bardiness, so like I'll make sure my instrument is very visible and like I'm hired to be here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a different direction and like because we have like clothes, right? Like robes.
You have the necromancer's robes, yes, that you forged.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear that, like hood up, very much trying to disguise the fact that I'm Slytherin.
All right. I mean, if you keep your head down, you can probably pass for a halfling with bad posture.
That's what I'll do.
All right.
Oh, and is it possible to get like a basket or something?
I mean, there's like a basket laying on the ground over here.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna be like carrying the basket and like, I'm so sorry, but I need to get this delivered like right now.
Very good. What about you, Charlene?
Just going for the robes. I mean, it's the sad thing is that I also have a great axe, which is like impossible to conceal probably, but we'll do the best to
You could throw it in the basket and then like throw the great axe and the hammer in the basket and then throw clothes over them or something like that.
I'm just
that is
thinking-
an option.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, no, we've got no idea what people around here even do on a daily basis. So we're basically walking into Strangersville, and we're gonna be like, "Hey, kids."
Fellow kids.
Hello, fellow necromancers. That's my.
I mean, it is a plan. All right.
I'm also doing the rope route. I have like the quarterstaff that like Bark made with like the dagger like compartment or whatever thing.
Oh, sure.
Thing. So I'm walking around with that, looking extra necromancer, looking extra warlocky.
I was gonna say the one thing I have going for me though is I do have a ridiculous and skilled intimidation check. So like I'm definitely going for the like intimidating aura of a necromancer. And
That's fair.
I have a +10 deception and +7 in intimidation. So
all right. Once you fully enter the room, by the way, the door closes behind you and you can see like it forms an almost seamless seal with the wall. So that was a secret door that you came in through.
That was a tossle, everybody, by the way.
There's the one wooden door leading out of here that doesn't appear to be locked.
Go through.
You step out in the next room. You see various, again, mostly empty boxes. You see like 5 forges in here that are cold. Haven't seemingly been used in a long time. And you can see that there are like blood stains near the forge that look like splatter patterns, say, from a dwarf getting whipped.
Gross. Mop it up.
And there are 2 doors out of this room, both wooden, neither seem to be locked. One goes to the north, one goes to the east.
Uh-oh.
Ithrid would like to listen at each door.
Sure, go ahead and give me a perception check if you don't mind.
Well,
you hear a lot of footsteps, a lot of movement. It sounds like it's probably outside. But maybe there's just a lot of foot traffic outside. You don't hear a lot of like crowd walla. You would expect to if it was like a city street or something.
okay, so like a busy building.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like it's outside. So maybe you're like just by a road that's being heavily traveled, but nobody's talking, which seems a little odd to you. But you know, you're from Shelzar, where if you put your ear to an outside door, you're going to hear 400 conversations.
I will relay that to my friends.
We do know that most populations undead they've used as like labor, so
Oh,
they
that
probably are just skeletons and undead. They're doing work or something.
you're probably correct.
It sounds like it's outside. I mean, that's something, right? So, are you picking this door?
Do I hear the same thing from both doors?
Same thing from the other door.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Let's go. You're muted.
Can I change my disguise?
Sure.
I'm gonna be a human skeleton.
All right.
Why not just like the horse skeleton? You know.
Because they hate the iron bread and Sutek, right?
Yeah.
But you're dead though, you know. No, you're right.
It would call attention to myself. If I'm a skeleton amongst 100 of skeletons, then I'm fine. It's a better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So who's opening the door?
I'll open the door, right? Because I'm definitely the most warlocky one here, so I definitely have like some kind of tie to the city, at least, you know, visually.
You crack the door open, and your immediate first thought is, "I wish it was undead."
No.
As you open the door, you see you're on an extremely crowded street. It's shoulder to shoulder as people are moving through humans. It takes you a minute to clock for sure that they are, though, because everyone has like just either chalk white or just deeply gray, pallid skin. Their eyes are sunken. Their cheeks are sunk in. Everybody looks horrendously malnourished. Their clothes are just tatters and rags, and nobody is like talking. You see a couple people like exchange a whisper here and there as they just sort of slowly move around in this huge mass. At the far end of the street, you see a woman, human, blonde-haired, looks like she's probably in her 20s, dressed in the robes of a Glivet necromancer. She's riding a horse that looks, for all the world, like it is completely undead. And she has, in one hand, the bit and bridle, and in the other hand, like a ring. Extended from that ring, you see 4 chains. 3 of those chains are around what are clearly ghouls. They have like severely rotten faces, entire chunks of their torso missing, and they're wearing, neck collars. And the 4th collar looks to be a human child of about 6 or 7, but where its eyes should be are just huge, deep black orbs. And you see it like looking around, and as it looks around, it sort of like its jaw starts like shivering at different paces as it looks at different people. I would like each of you to make an Arcana roll, please.
19. I don't like any of this.
11.
I got a 1.
All right. With a 1, you realize it's creepy. What's that?
9.
An 8, you said?
9.
9. Okay. What'd you get, Charlene?
14.
All right. And Haiku?
11.
Okay. With a 14, you're pretty sure that child is undead. And you remember a little bit about like Hollowfaust, which is the city of like good necromancers, has very strict laws about not reanimating prepubescent people because it never ends well. it's the kind of thing that can get you a death and reanimation sentence in Holocaust. But you also know, with your 19, Ithrin, you remember in some of your reading that you've done leading up to this place, rumors about creatures that are used by Glibet Autel, but they've never been seen outside. These are creatures called Morai. And Morai are made by the same process that the wretched that you met are made. The shards of their personalities slowly pulled out until they become undead, and then shoving shards of their personality back in to give them a little bit of autonomy and emotional awareness.
Oh, God.
According to the rumors that you've heard, these Morai are psychic. They're able to tell when people are having intense emotions and are used by the Glibet Autel authorities to police that, because that is a crime in the city of Glibet Autel for non-necromancers, which is punishable by sharding.
Okay, several questions. So, am I understanding you correctly in that experiencing emotion is illegal in this city?
Yes, if you're not a necromancer, yeah.
Okay.
Experiencing intense emotion is illegal in this city.
Ken would not do good here.
Half the old group, not.
Okay, friends, we're gonna have to keep it together, like a lot, because if we flip out, the feelings cops will murder all of us.
I love that phrasing.
And just as Ithrin is explaining that to you, you see the little girl point at one of the people that's just walking down the street with like a laundry basket. She just goes,
Like kind of like starts to like the mute user not too loud.
the necromancer like rides over, and the person's like, I was just thinking about my child. I just want to get home. And the necromancer says, that'll be 1 year, and pulls a little like trinket out of her pocket and places it to his forehead. And you see his eyes go gray, and his skin has like a little pulse of darkness of veins in it. And then he just sort of stumbles for a second, and she places it back in her pocket and says, mind yourself. You don't want to be an embarrassment, do you? And continues riding on. And that's where we'll wrap things up for this week.
What?
Welcome to Glibet Autel.
Yeah, no kidding. Fuck.
Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's session?
Oh, what the fuck?
Does also have like a symbol or something that's easily identified by?
Yeah, there's a holy symbol. I'll have to look it up and get you a copy of it. But yes, Atasa does have a holy symbol.
Cool. Just like a flash, like a thaumaturgy thing or something like that later on if I need to.
The other thing that you would probably notice if you spend any time walking around is the most common temples that you'll see and like signs of worship you'll see, apart from Otassel, are Belsameth and Vangal.
Okay.
But on that note, yeah, that's where we'll wrap things up. Let's go ahead and do our outros. Let's start things off this week with Ithrin. Please give us your pertinent details, please.
Hello, my name is Rachel. You can find me Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere. I played the multi-class druid cleric, Ithrin. As far as where else you can find me, I do a lot of streaming over at Vorpal Tales. I will be there on Friday running Call of Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep. And then back there on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for Mage the Awakening, SCP, and Dark Sun, respectively. Should be good times. Come check it out.
Excellent. And next up, let's have Alan. Please give us your pertinence.
Hi guys. My name is Milena. I play Alland, who is currently like thick 8 foot tall skeleton. And I'm really worried about what this is gonna be like next term. But in real life, I'm a comic book artist and yoga teacher in Illinois. You can follow me on Instagram at Milena Deneno or at Milena Moves Mindfully. And there you can find all my links to my Patreons and all my other stuff.
Excellent. And I just threw the links for the Vorpal Tales and Milena's Twitch both in the chat. Next up, Charlene, please give us your pertinence.
Hey, Corey Frang, aka Narf on the interwebs, they, them, as is Charlene. And yeah, Caves of Cud, check it out. Video game, roguelike, super fun.
And that's available on Steam and itch, right?
And all the places where you can find good games.
Caves of Cud, QUD, look it up. Next up, we have Haiku. Please give us your pertinence. Oh, and congratulations, Mike.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm Mike Mutant. I'm playing Haiku, both he, him. Just got engaged recently.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm a comic artist from Chicago. You can follow me at Mike Mutant pretty much everywhere. And here on Twitch also, I believe I'm also just, I'm just Mike Mutant, all one word here on Twitch.
Excellent. I think that should have gone through, so that should be up in the chat. Next up, we have Charlie. Please give us your pertinence.
I am Sarah Sharnover, she, her. I play Charlie, also she, her, but in different pronouns at the end of the day. And I write things and I play video games on the internet and I do writing streams on the internet. I'm Wordsmith Sarah everywhere, and I also have a Twin Peaks podcast that is currently in blocked in all countries hell. So hopefully we can return to that eventually when copyright has released me.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely go check that out. I just threw Sarah's Twitch link. Are you still doing writing sprints on Fridays? So yeah, check that out on Twitch on Fridays at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right? Excellent. And I guess that leaves me. I'm Travis Legge, he, him, they, all fine by me. The reason we are here is for Dead Man's Rust. I am the land developer for Scarred Lands, and I got to develop Dead Man's Rust, the campaign we are playing through right now, which is currently available on BackerKit for pre-order. I highly recommend heading over there and checking it out. The art's getting finalized, the layout's getting finalized. It looks so beautiful. And knock on wood, in the next session or two, I might even have a map or two to show off to you. So I'm really pumped about it. I think if you check the Monday meeting notes from last week, there's some art from the inside of Dead Man's Rust that looks really cool of Glivet Hotel. So if you want to, have nightmares. I also want to remind you that it is Exalted Month over at the Onyx Path. This is the 10th anniversary of Onyx Path. Each month we're celebrating a different game line. This month is Exalted, and part of that is that all of the Exalted Deluxe books are on sale 50% off over at Indie Press Revolution. So you can get a copy of the Super Deluxe leatherette bound Exalted 3rd edition tome for half off, which is a great deal. Highly recommend heading over and picking those up. We will be back here 2 weeks from today. We're on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Wednesday of every month. On the opposing Wednesdays, same time, you can come here to learn about Mage the Ascension with Walking into Shadow. And please definitely check out Dead Man's Rust if you've not yet done so. Pick up Scarred Lands if you've not yet done so. Available at Drive-Thru RPG, through Indie Press Revolution, or at your friendly local game store. And yeah, we will see you next time. Until then, be good to yourselves and each other. Make sure you get your shots. Happy holiday to those of you who celebrate. Don't drive if you're stoned. All right, I'll see you all later.